Poop. What is up? What's up, everybody? We're back with another video. We are still in the den, as always. We look at games that are both modern, retro, and we also look at some tech. Today, we're looking at a modern game. Came out in 2023. That is Sea of Stars. It's backwards for you guys. Maybe. And that is Sea of Stars. Now, I bought that game, and man, let me tell you, This is the new series called Late to the Party Reviews. This game came out in 2023, and it got a lot of praise that year. At the Game Awards in 2023, it did win Indie Game of the Year, and it deserves every bit of it. It took me about 27 hours to complete this game. Sea of Stars, or How Long to Beat says it takes about 28 hours to play the main story, and I didn't really venture off and do too many side things in this game. I don't have as much time to play video games as I used to, so I try not to do too many side games unless I really am digging the game and I really want to dive into the lore. And I did like this game a lot, but I don't know, it felt right to just stay on the main path. Now, I'm going to do my best to do this spoiler-free, but from here on out, this is your warning. I'm going to show gameplay. I'm going to show some other stuff. I'm going to do my best to not show videos from the end, but most of my recording was from the end of the game, so I'll try not to, but so just be forewarned. All right, let's dive into this a little bit. When you start the game, you are two characters. You get to pick between two. Valare, I think that's how you say that, and Zale. I could definitely say Zale. I don't know how to say Valare's name. We're just going to call her Valare. If I'm wrong, you guys can roast me in the comment section. I don't really care. So you get to pick between the two. One is male, one's female. Zale is male, and Valare is female. They are solstice warriors, which means they have the power of the solstice. The sun and the moon. Zale is the sun power, and Valare is the moon power. At the beginning, you meet two other solstice warriors, Bergraves and Erlina. They're older than you are. You're very young at the start of this game, and you are the last four solstice warriors. And your first mission is to gain your powers. So you go and meet the Elder Mist, and you talk to him, and he gives you prophecies and all that kind of stuff that lead into the story. I'm not going to go too in depth here into the story, but the story's fantastic. I think it is a 9 out of 10. It had its hooks in me. Wasn't until about halfway through the game that it really got deep, and I really wanted to continue. Like, it gave me that final little push halfway through the game, which is I think what a game needs to do. Give you that last little bit of a hook in and pull you to the end. Kind of what you're going to be doing, there's linear levels in here. So there's like a pathway through the level, and you got turn-based combat. So when you run into enemies, it turns into a fighting scene, and you fight the enemies taking turns. You'll get characters later on. There's a bunch of companions as you're going through the game. When you leave those linear areas, you get to like an overworld map. It's kind of a top-down, and you're very small pixels going across, and there's different areas you can go to. I picture it as almost like Mario World, except for you got a little bit more freedom, but there's only like 2 or 3 places to select from. There's a lot of fishing holes, and I would suggest always going there and picking up some fish. Fish is one of like the best foods in the game because you can make a lot of good dishes with it that heal your party really well. And there's campfires. Campfires you use to rest up and re-heal and get your mana back. And next to those campfires, there are save spots, which is just a book that you save. At the campfires, you can also cook all your recipes that you learn throughout the game. I just don't want to get too far into the story and stuff like that. Fucking move on, Nate. Okay. Now, let's dive into the combat. It's turn-based, like I said, with a little bit of a twist. If you've ever played Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, you know that in that game, just before you hit an enemy, you hit the A button or the X button. Well, technically, I guess on Nintendo, it's the B button, I believe. I can't remember on GameCube what the button was. It might have been A on GameCube. On the Switch, it's the B button. But anyways, you hit them, you do extra damage if you get the timing right. This is exactly similar to this. One of the best attacks in the game is Valare's Moonerang. I think that's what it's called. If not, that's what I'm calling it. It's a power where she has takes a little bit of a half moon or a crescent moon and bounces it between enemies. And it'll keep bouncing until you misstep on the button, and it gets faster each time. That is the best move to use. Oh man, I don't know. It was so entertaining to just boom, 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 and you get it down to where it's like super crisp, and you're just killing enemies with that thing. Zale has like a power up sun like blast. Basically, he holds his hand up and the sun grows, and you gotta let go at the right time and hit the enemy, do some extra damage. That one's pretty good as well. Not as good as the Moonerang, no. There are also combos in this game, so you team up with another character to do damage together. At the beginning of this game, they suck. Like, I barely ever used the combos. It took me a long time to start using combos. They aren't very good, in my opinion. The only one that's worth using early on is Mending Light, which just gives you some health, and even that doesn't give you a lot of health. There's better items to be using. This is outside the combat, but one of the cool things that I thought was on the game is almost like cheats, but they're not. There's little like bonuses you can toggle on and off, and some of that is one of the ones that helped me the most get through the game a little bit faster was I would heal after every fight, which is kind of cheap because it makes it easier to where you don't have to go back to a campfire or use all your items to heal. People are probably going to say you're cheated in that game, but I liked it because, like I said earlier, I don't have a lot of time to play video games, so I can't stop at every campfire and cook and rest and do all that. I just want to play the game, and that made it much, much easier. But the combat was still difficult. It's not overly difficult. I never died in this game, but I think I was also playing on easy, so difficulty can be turned up. But like I said, don't have a lot of time to play video games, man. So I got to get through these games as quick as possible. Now, probably the best part of this game for me is the art style. Every enemy, there are so many enemy varieties, and you can tell they took the care and the passion to like really draw out and think of some characters that just look insane, man. All the enemies look great. The environments around those enemies look great. The sleeping dragon that you see at the beginning of the game, oh man, that is just a beautiful piece of art. I would like to try to find a art book of this game and have it here in the lounge and kind of and have it here in the den and you know, really display it and show it off. Inside the game, I got this, I think I picked this up at GameStop. Inside the game, there's this cool artwork that I really like. I might even get it framed. I like it so much. So there's this side. Oh, that's hard for you guys to see. Is that upside down? No, it's not. Yeah, maybe I'll take a picture of it and put it on screen. That might work a little bit better. And then there's, oh, that's upside down. So that's pretty cool. And I just, man, I can't get enough of looking at this game. There are some puzzles in this game, but they're pretty easy. Even for somebody like me, I suck at puzzles. I can't even figure out some of the puzzles in Zelda games. So these are way more simple than that. A lot easier to kind of figure out. Plus, easy to like walk out of an area and walk back in, and the puzzle resets. So that was really nice. All right, the overall thoughts. What do I give this game? One little critique I do have is the combat can get kind of boring and repetitive. I mean, it is turn-based, so you find yourself doing a lot of the same moves. Sometimes I wish there weren't as many enemies, just so it wasn't stop, fight, and a lot of the enemies are just like couple punches, they're gone. You know, it's not doing a whole lot for me. Every boss fight was super cool, figuring out their moves and what they're going to do, how to best block it and how to best attack them. That was so entertaining for me. The music, that's one thing I forgot to mention. The music's really good in this game too. There's certain areas that are better than others, but I could listen to this music all day. I think there's even a vinyl out on 8-Bit Dough, on 8-Bit Gamer. I'd have to look. There is a vinyl. Let's check it out. Here it is. It's on I Am 8-Bit. I was saying 8-Bit Dough. That's like they make controllers. Sea of Stars, 2x LP. So there's like a sun and a moon side, which is really cool. A side, it's A side, C side. And then it looks like it has some artwork when you open it up. That looks so cool. It shows off all the characters. That is, this might be a must. I don't even have a way to play it, but that looks super cool. Music is always great in video games. But a little note back on the, I got off in a tangent. Surprise! Nate does that all the time. But back with the combat, I do wish there was a new move or two a little bit earlier on. Some things later on you do get some like ultimates and things like that, but not until almost the end of the game, which story-wise does make sense. But you do get a lot of new companions that have moves, but you have a lot of the same companions for quite a while in the game. To me, when you get to the halfway point of the game starts to speed up and you start to get a lot of new things and visit a lot of new stuff. So you make it to that halfway point, you will really enjoy this game later on. And I understand that they probably couldn't give you too many moves. One, from a budget standpoint, they probably didn't have time or the money to be making a bunch of move sets. But also, you have to get good at timing your secondary hit. So I could understand you don't want to like list of 100 moves or different attacks and not be used to hitting the button. So I can understand that. This definitely will be going into probably my top 10 list. And I know 8.5 in my top 10 list. Yes, I loved the heck out of this game. I could play it 100 times. Oh, one thing I did forgot to mention. There is a cool extra ending that I didn't do, but I watched a YouTube video on because I didn't want to I didn't want to do it. But when you beat the game, it like there's a save point just before you do the final fight. And then after you beat the game, there's a little thing that unlocks. It's kind of like a new game plus almost, but you have to play before you fight that final boss. And it's a really cool story piece. And you got to do some extra stuff and go do some side missions and things like that. I think IGN has a pretty good guide on it. And then there was, just search it up. You'll be able to find it pretty easy on what to do. And it's a cool moment. I think it changes the end for the better. And I wish that was just the end. But I understand adding a little bit of extra work for that other ending, because the other ending's just so wholesome, man. All right. I hope I didn't spoil too much for you guys. I probably did footage wise, but me talking wise, I know it didn't really spoil anything. So I appreciate you guys. Again, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button because we talk about a ton of video games here, plus tech. So I'll catch you guys later.